Hi, Arlen. So take two, part two.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now we're live.
Oh, yeah. This is really live. It's
Are you
good
on
now.
Facebook? Are you looking at it?
Yeah, I see it live now.
Awesome, awesome.
I
Okay,
think this is
so
the right one.
were you able to contact Carlos?
I sent him the link,
Um,
and maybe he
it's not hard to do, right? You just click on the link and then you should be able to enter.
no. It's you need to do a StreamYard account. Make sure whichever you're gonna use your Facebook account, Gmail account, whatever, and then you need to get a code. They will give you a code, and then that's the one. It will work.
Ah, I see, I see. Okay, so you
Yeah,
have to create an account.
yeah.
Okay, I
Look
guess
like
we'll.
I'm an angel on the top of me. I have a headlights there. See?
You have a halo. So now, Maureen, it says on my screen, and broadcast. So it means that we're live for sure now. And you're looking at it on Facebook also, Maureen.
Huh? Okay, let me see.
And Arlen, you said that you're looking at it, right? Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah,
I can
There
hear.
we go.
Arlen, you said that you're looking at it, right?
yeah. I'm
Yes,
looking.
let me.
I think we'll have to turn off the volume or turn down the volume so that we don't have echoes.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn off my volume. Cancel there. 1 8. And
So this is awesome. So we have four viewers right now. So that's well, three viewers. So that's good. So let's do a restart. So hello folks, hello friends. So we're going to talk about a very important topic. The question is that we're going to tackle is now a good time to buy a house, and we're here with Arlen, who's a realtor, and Maureen, who is a lender also. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can always type it on the comment section, and then for sure we'll see it, and then we'll try our best to answer those questions. Okay, so hi Arlene, hi Maureen. So we're here again. Arlene, can you tell us something about yourself?
Hi guys. Hi everyone. I'm Arlen Donaldson. I'm real estate agent here in Dallas, Texas. That I always introduce to myself, right? So, by the way, and I'm with Fathom Realty. My office in McKinney, and I really love to discuss it with you and share our knowledge with you guys. What is really the market at the moment? So if you have more questions about the lending mortgage, Maureen is here, and we can really brainstorming to help you guys to answer all the questions. And a little bit about me. I have two kids. I have 8-year-old and 6-year-old daughters, and my husband also he's an investor, so I'm his assistant. No, so so we're doing on the other side, being an agent, we're doing also flipping side. So it's super excited to share it with you guys, our knowledge, the market of the moment.
Oh, or maybe you can do videos also when you flip homes. I mean, that would be nice.
that would be
You
good.
do? Oh, I have a different page.
Oh,
I
it's on a
have
different
three
page.
page. I have on my real estate page. I have on, I have on my flipping side that I'm not a realtor. I'm a designer page. So we're doing a renovation there. So it's super fun. I'm enjoying being in this business.
Oh, wow, you
Awesome.
stay pretty busy.
I
Yes,
would
with the two
guess.
kids.
With the
Two
two
kids,
kids.
flipping real estate. So that's good. That's very, very good. How about Maureen? Tell us something about yourself also.
Hi, everybody. I'm Maureen Powell. I'm with Synergy One Lending, been in the mortgage industry for almost 13 years. And I've been in real estate for over 20 years because I know I'm aging myself, but love what I do. I've known Mario for how long now, Mario? As long as
Long
I've been in the
time.
business, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a little bit about me. I have a grown-up child that's no longer a child. He's 27, and my husband is about to become a realtor himself. So that's really
Awesome.
exciting. Yes, and I specialize in first-time home buyers, but we do have specialty programs, and I'm here to answer any questions that you guys have in regards to today's market, interest rates, and any other questions that I can help with.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, thank you so much. Okay, so hold on. We have a question here. I have a house and want to buy an investment property. What's your best advice to prepare to make the decision? Can you read the comments also, or is it only me who can read the comments?
I think you only
Yeah,
can
you
make
got
it.
it.
I
Yeah.
got it. Okay. The question is, I have a house and want to buy an investment property. What's your best advice to prepare to make the decision? Well, you do investment properties, Arlene. Why don't you answer that?
That questions is make it more personal. It depends to your finances. Okay. Like what I'm doing, what we're doing. So I have rent, we have rentals too. Then we have a house. So it depends. Example, you have a house you wanna buy, another house is how much your debt to income ratio or what kind of money you're gonna use. Example, if you wanna use another type of loan, make sure that your debt to income ratio is lower enough to pay the two mortgages. Even somebody will pay on, make it a rentals, but for the moment, make sure that you have enough money, the cushion to really pay the two mortgages. That is the first one. The second one is if you want to buy another property, this say I'm gonna give you blown bone a blast in the answer, right? So the another one that you can do is example, you buy uh, what you call that, you can buy a cash, okay, or you can do a cash out refinance in your property, and then you put it to another house that you're buying for investment, but make sure you have enough equity on your house. If you don't have much, solid liquid money, you can do that too. So it's different options. It's really how much you yourself knowledgeable, or maybe as for all of us, doing the business, knowledgeable how to really work on your finances. Make sure you are can really show it to the mortgage lender. There are different type of mortgage. Maureen is using like the first time home buyer. We have different bank, local bank. You can use that one. You can use your uh, different type of investment. You need to pay higher mortgage interest rate if you wanna borrow money from hard money lender, or it's a lot.
Thank you, Arlene. So there's a
I
lot of
do have
considerations. So, Maureen, for investment properties, usually that would be a higher down payment, right? Like 20, 30%.
well, you can do 20% down on an investment. We do have a DSCR program for that type of, like, if you're going to do a rental property,
Mhm.
we can do that. So we do have other options for you if you are wanting to invest on a property. Like she said, we could also use your equity on your current property to purchase that other home. So a cash out refinance may be an option. Or we could, the DSCR can actually use the potential rents of the new property. We could do that. So there are options out there
Yeah.
that we can utilize to help you purchase the new property, the investment property. It just really depends on your financial situations. That's going to enable you to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So that's good. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go back to the topic. Is now a good time to buy a house? So let's talk about market trends right now. So Arlene, as a real estate agent, as a realtor, how are you looking at the markets right now? Is it good? Is it bad? Or going up, going down? Or what
So
do you think?
if you ask me that question, what most of us like, if we go to like what is the really the market right now, right? My question is, what kind of market you are right now? I'm gonna throw it back to you. The questions: are you really want to buy a house? You want to sell a house? You want to invest? It's up. Where is the situation of you and your family in what you think the market is, right? It's a mindset, right? So for me, if you tell me that, I'm gonna tell you the market right now is the best time to buy. I give you a lot of reason why you did not buy yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's really depends where you at right now. Are you really want to buy a house? This is the best time to buy a house if you're really financially ready, right? If you want to sell a house, this is the best time to sell a house. Yes, if you really need your money to sell your house, it depends on your situation. So for me, right now is it's the best time, always the best time to buy a house right now, today, yesterday, because the price is increasing. Even we have inflation, we have the mortgage interest rate is going up. It's really the history of the market. If you study the market, it's really up and down. But the thing is, the price is not going down.
That's a really good point. I mean, if you look at the prices, I mean, it always goes up. So, I mean, it goes up and down, but ultimately it's still going up. So, I usually tell my clients if they ask me if it's a good time, I would always tell them like what you say, Arlie. It really depends on on the situation, and plus if you can afford it comfortably, you won't lose sleep with
Yeah.
with the mortgage payments. It's always a good time to buy because ultimately, prices would go up. In your point of view, Maureen, as a lender, what do you think about the real estate, the market.
Honestly, it's, I mean, if you're renting right now, you're paying somebody else's mortgage, right?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
100%, you're paying 100% in interest. So anytime you're paying somebody else's mortgage, I really feel like you're losing.
Mhm.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody can afford to buy right now,
Mhm.
but always in any market, if you can afford to purchase a home, you're investing in yourself, no matter what the interest rate is, right? Because at the end of the day, you're putting, whether we're in today's market or we were in, in the market of last year, right?
Mhm.
Where everybody is walking into their property and they're already $50,000, $60,000 in equity, right?
Uh-huh.
But if you're in today's market, you're probably walking into your equity. You're still walking into some equity, 30,000, 40,000 when you do your appraisal. I just closed on a borrower just today, and she walked into her property with $20,000 of equity, right?
Wow.
So she didn't think she was going to be able to buy a house, right? So it's just rents right now. If you're out there looking for, if you read the news or if you read, rents are going up by 25%,
Yeah,
30%.
yeah,
So
yeah.
at
I
the
read in the news.
yeah, so at the end of the day, yeah, it's a perfect time to buy a house because you could go and sell your house, as Arlene is saying, and get equity. As Arlene said earlier, you can go and use your house as an investment to go buy another investment property, right? So, what house or what apartment or what rental property can you do that with when it's not yours?
No, no, you're tied up in that
Yeah,
because
that
you can't do
it's
anything.
not yours to do anything with.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. Well, one of the concerns right now would be the interest rates. I believe the Fed chairman is going to make an announcement tomorrow. You mentioned this earlier, Maureen, point 0.5 or 0.75. Even some experts are saying that there's a possibility that he would announce like a 1%. I mean,
1%.
that's always a possibility, they say. So if that happens, um, what can we advise? I mean, home buyers.
I mean, rates are going to go up as we've seen this year, right? Rates will go up, and here's my advice to everybody. And most time, and this is what I advise most of my first-time home buyers when I deal with, they're always looking for down payment assistance or things like that. And here's the thing: you're looking to purchase a home, right? And it's one of the biggest purchases that you make. Start
Mhm.
saving. Start saving your down payment. Start saving your closing cost. Okay. Because nowadays you really have to strategically plan to purchase, right?
Mm.
Not only to save for the down payment, the closing costs, but you may have to maneuver around to see if there's a way to buy down the interest rate.
Okay.
And you may maneuver a way to, you know, talk to the seller, right? If there is, I've I've done a couple of things where um, the house actually appraised for a little bit more, right? And we went back to the seller and said, hey, we're going to use the equity that we have already, and we're going to buy down the interest rate. So we're going to ask the seller to help to pay for buying down the interest rate. So
Uh-huh.
we can lower that rate for our borrower. Or if I have a borrower that says, well, I want to put $5,000 more towards my down payment, I show them the difference. I create a chart. I show them the difference of what $5,000 more is going to do for their down payment, of what it's going to do for their bottom line on their monthly mortgage, or what's $5,000 more going to do for them paying down that interest rate. There's a huge
Mhm.
difference. So, you just have to be a little bit more strategic. Don't worry so much about, well, the rates are going up. Yes, the rates are going up. We know that inflation's happening. The feds are trying to fight inflation. We know all of that. But let's tackle what we can do to help your situation as the borrower, to help you figure out what we can do for you so we can get you into your home. You can't worry about everything else
Yeah. Yeah.
because every situation is different.
Yes. I completely agree. How about you, Arlene? You know what? Carlos is trying to log in, so I gave him the. Did you give him the new link? Oh, Arlene, you're on mute.
I don't know if I give the new one. Maybe you
I gave
can.
it to him, so
Hopefully, he can join us. Yeah.
come
What's your
on,
question
Carlos,
again?
hurry up. Oh, there you go. Here's Carlos. Hold on.
Oh, I guys, I am so sorry I'm late.
No worries, Filipino time.
I was
Because
having
you're late,
I
you're
had
gonna answer.
dinner and I was
Because
busy
you're
doing
late, you're gonna
something.
answer all the questions.
Yeah, you'll have to answer all the questions, the hard
Oh
questions.
The
dear.
hard one.
Okay, I'll do my best.
And Mr. Mario want you to introduce yourself in why you think that right now is the best time to buy a house.
Hey, Carlos, introduce yourself first, so that people know who you are.
Oh yes, hi everybody. I'm Carlos Cuyugan. I am based here in the Dallas Fort Worth area. I have been in the real estate business slash industry for the past 3 years. So I guess compared to the three of you, I'm still quite newish.
Yeah, but you're the smartest, I think.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not.
You're smarter than me for sure.
So
But and thank
anyway,
you for having me.
oh, awesome, awesome. Thank you for coming. We were talking about the interest rates, Carlos. So, because it fluctuates, and tomorrow, we're expected the Fed to announce interest rate hike again.
Again, yes,
So,
I read about that.
what should we advise our clients? Should they hold or whatever? For me, I bought my house 2007, and it was 6.7 the interest rate, and we
Yes,
were so
yes,
happy about that.
yes.
And
So
6.7 is still low
yeah, I
relative
know.
to what it was before. Like I've heard interest rates being at like 18%, 12%.
18% and
Right.
80s.
1918 to 19,
Yeah. So
it's
I
like
mean,
10 years.
if you think about it, it was still relatively low. Because I mean, you guys have to really put in perspective. The last 2 years is not the norm.
No.
We're spoiled,
Right.
right?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
spoiled. Like for two
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
everybody starts to think, "Oh my gosh, this is what rates should be." No, that is not the norm.
And besides,
Yeah.
they're putting my faith, okay, in the system. They're raising all the interests to combat the inflation, the runaway inflation that became the result of us being spoiled, right, for the past 2 years. So here we are now paying for it, but I know it's going to correct the system, so to speak. So Mario, to answer your question, my clients, I'm working on one right now, and they uh, did mention, okay, the interest rates, and I closed recently 3 weeks ago, and that client of mine has 5.25, which is good. But of course, compare that to a client of mine 2 years ago, which was 2.7. That's a big difference.
Uh-huh.
I, I tell my clients that even if the interest rates are high now, and I believe it's where it should be, or maybe it's a corrective amount of interest, still, okay, the real estate is still good. It's real estate appreciates always, and it's still very worth investing in one. I mean, it's going to be your home, okay, and we're a little bit shocked by the how the interest rates are, but uh, I do believe, right, that it will stabilize uh,
Okay.
in the very near future.
Maureen, let me ask you this. Because Carlos mentioned about the interest rates, like a
Mhm,
2 or 3. I mean, not two, but two something, and three.
mhm.
Will we ever? I mean, you're in your with your peers and industry. Are there any talks or whatever that it would go back to that kind of level?
I mean, if we were to have some type of crisis again, some type of economic crisis, then it may possibly.
Hmm.
Because, like I said, the last 2 years is not the norm.
Uh-huh.
The last 2 years is something that was a systemic thing to where the economy wouldn't panic. So it was
Yes.
able to still allow people to, hey, it's okay to still go ahead and purchase, go ahead and still go out there and live life like normal, right? To go
Uh-huh.
out there and go purchase a home, go and
Yes.
it's okay to do so. And here is the interest rates. We're going to lower it so much, so low that you will do so.
Yeah.
Basically, is what they did, right?
Hmm.
Um, they only do that when there's an event.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay. So if an event were to ever happen again, then sure, absolutely. We
Okay.
might see that again. But as to just see it just because, probably not. That's not
Uh-huh.
the type of, you know, economy that we live in.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all about growth. We're all about trying to, like where we're at right now is when we see it, the way we see the inflation, they're trying to stop it. Um, it's really trying to get the economy to stop borrowing, stop,
Hmm.
that is why they're making the interest rate as high as they are. So people
Yeah.
would stop
Uh-huh.
borrowing
Too
so
much,
much.
too much
Yeah,
money going around.
money going out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's a good thing also because if you can remember, like multiple offers, that's
yeah,
too much.
exactly. And it's making everything go high. Like, with the lumber situation we had, right? With all the builders, so all the builders that sat there and like skyrocketed all of their prices. So all of those things starts to have a domino effect,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
So those are the things. It's like a cause and effect.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
In fact,
Beautiful.
my roofer friend told me last week that plywood that used to cost $6 about 2 years ago is about 20 today.
Oh my. Wow. That's
Yeah,
a lot.
that's a lot.
Yikes. So, I mean, as I can see it, I mean, interest rates, I mean, we're so happy. Like, you have 3% interest rate, but as a buyer, its disadvantages also because, I mean, you have interest rates, but it's so difficult to buy a house. I mean, you'll be competing with 30 other people, and then you have to pay extra. I mean, 30,000,
Yeah.
25,000, 30,000 over. I mean,
Yes,
that's a lot. That's too
yes,
much. So yeah, you're paying a lower interest rate, but it's so tough,
High
Yeah.
right?
And you think
prices.
about how many people that was outpriced last year
a
or
Yeah.
2 years.
lot.
I mean, you think about
Terrible.
how many
Yeah.
first time home buyers that weren't able to
Yes,
purchase a home because you had all this influx of, people that had 30, $40,000 that they could
Mhm.
input into buying that house. And
yes,
not to say that, that they shouldn't, because if they had it, right? But
Mhm.
now it's a little bit more competitive to where, yes, our first time home buyers can be in the market.
Yay.
Yes.
Moderating the housing market, right?
Yeah.
I
They
like
can be a little bit more competitive with them too. And, like I said, my heart goes for them.
Yeah, I know, I know, I know.
more options for the
Yes, more
buyers too,
options for buyers.
right?
Yeah.
For
A little bit
shoppers.
more of a competitive edge.
Yeah.
Plus now, so now the interest rates went up, but we can see that there's a lot more choices, right? I mean,
Yes.
a lot more choices of homes,
Yeah.
and then plus, I mean, you can negotiate with the sellers now. And
Yeah.
then the next question is, what if the interest rates goes down? I mean, what are the options? I mean, you can always refinance, right?
Yes, there's always refinance options. I mean, like I said earlier, this is gonna, although we're going up, I see us kind of leveling off a little bit, right? It's not gonna always just go up, up, up. Eventually, we will level off. Now,
yes.
are we gonna level off down to where we were, 2 to 3 years? Of course not, right? But we will level down to where we can start refinancing these higher rates, right?
Mm.
It's a cycle.
It's a
It's
Uh-huh.
cycle. It
a
is, right?
cycle.
It is. Yep.
So we touch about the home price trends. Are we all in agreement that, I mean, homes ever since, I mean, it goes up, right? I mean, Arlen
Price.
mentioned this earlier that it fluctuates up and down, but ultimately it would still go up, right? So
But
what's
now, I don't know if you've been. Do you get a lot of emails about people selling houses? I started to notice that many of those sending me emails about their houses being sold, they're adjusting their
Price. Decrease
prices
the price. Mhm.
Mm,
towards the downward trend. Okay, it's not actually going up, but I'm looking at this email now where this person is saying that they slashed the price by $10,000. So
Mhm.
it has become a trend that it's going down, and in fact, uh, I was able to sell a half of a duplex now to a client for 199,000,
Oh
and
wow.
this would have been unheard of in 2021.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
anything
Wow.
under 200
It is, right? It's surprising to know.
Yeah. It's I think for me, my idea for, based on what's going on, the price, if you see the market watch right now, you really see that the price is decreasing, right? Like we have like almost 2,000 listing within like today's 1.5 month inventory, meaning that, and then half of those are price decrease. Why? We as an agent, we should not price it 3 months ago. We should price it right, right? We should price it to the really what is the right price, not the neighbor price, not whatever, whoever buy from California, whatever they can pay, right? So I think that's really for us to be knowledgeable in how to price the house based
Oh
on
yeah.
reality,
Hmm. So you
right?
do whenever you would make an offer for your clients, you always do a CMA.
I do a CMA, and then I really, now I'm not using the 3 months sold. Okay, I'm gonna go back to 6 months or 9 months, and it's still high price. But what I'm
Uh-huh.
doing at the moment to really price it right, because I lost. This is, can I share you guys? We were not all like winning in our listing, right? So I have a listing, and I told to my client to drop the price for 50,000. Okay, this is super hard on me because they want this price, right? And I didn't, I follow them. I should follow my, my knowledge. I should follow, we should follow the number. This is a number game, right? I should not
Uh-huh.
follow their emotions. So I I dropped 30,000, and they said they cannot drop more because I told them to drop 50,000. So the 50,000, I told her, I cannot sell your house if you did not follow the 50,000 price, because the boat is already gone, right? We cannot get back again with the crazy market. So if you will, I told to my client, if you will not following me right now on my direction based on the market, you can cancel the contract and find another one that can sell you what you want at the moment. Because I have the pride what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, and it's better to ahead in the market than chasing the market. So I canceled the contract. If you can sell it, Carlos, I give it to you. But they don't wanna price it right. Okay, so
And so,
it's really dropping the price. Price it right. Even you're a seller right now, price it right and it will sell. I compete with three multiple offers, and I win because I know my number, right? So all of that, if
and
you're
you
a
can
buyer,
feel it, right, Arlen? You can
ah,
feel it, right? You can feel the 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 atmosphere, right? When the price is just too high,
yeah,
you know it's not going to move. Okay, and then
60 days. I have eight
exactly,
showing.
exactly.
Ay, really? 60 days. I have a beautiful face there in front of their yard. I need to remove my face there. I told you, you need to follow the market. So it's not gonna sell if you price it right now, especially as Maureen said, we are on the right market at the moment. Which it's really, it's
It's
not the
really going
crazy
down.
one, it's
It's
not the
not going
norm.
down. Yeah,
We're in the
people.
normal,
Yeah,
right?
people have hit the brakes, so to speak, because the fear is there.
Yeah.
Okay, and the shock that suddenly interest rates are high.
Yeah.
Okay, and they uh, 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 what's this? A lost client of mine in California said that he wasn't ready to spend that much, so he just said he'll wait. I said, go ahead. Just wait.
Is that an investor, Carlos?
No, no, he's moving. He was going
Ah,
to move
moving,
here.
moving.
He's
Okay.
planning to move here, but he had this idea about the price of the house.
They're gonna crash.
Yeah, the fear,
The
or
bubbles.
yeah, they're saying, oh, the prices are too high. It's still going down. I tell them, sure, the prices will go down, but based on my readings and everything, it will not go drastically down. Of course,
Right.
you're not talking about six figures of the house price going down.
Right.
I
It's
So
not.
don't.
what you're talking about, Carlos, is people are still thinking that prices would go down, but
Yeah.
what you're saying is that it won't be like 2008.
Yeah.
No,
Um,
oh
We're
no,
gonna have a market crash.
no,
This
right.
market is not going to crash. We're
It's
not
No,
going
no,
to
no, we're
have
not in that kind
2008.
of crisis at all. We're
No,
not.
we're
no.
not going to
Okay,
have
we're
that.
not. So
Hmm.
based on what I read last month, I forget my source now, but they really predicted that prices will go down. So we're seeing it already. Okay, but my prediction is that what it'll go down maybe around 15, 16, 17,000, 20 at the most. But to say drastically 50, 60, 70,000, I doubt that very much. So you're right, Arlen, about letting go of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
no, this is really the reality of the market, right? So we as a realtor, we really need to have a knowledge and how to really price it right. And of course, Maureen is here. Oh, this is the appraisal really right
oh yeah.
before. Okay,
Yes, yes.
before we just do We
The
don't need the
percolation.
appraisal and all that. Now you really follow, the appraisal rules, which is supposed to be, which is the market at the moment, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So I completely agree with all of you that I don't see the market crashing. I mean it would just
Not
follow
in
the
Texas.
no. I mean a lot of companies are moving here.
Oh yeah.
Tesla, Caterpillar is the latest. Charles Schwab. I mean a lot of people. I mean they're bringing employment here and money also here. So no, I don't think so.
No, we're not.
So the
Maybe
only thing,
other states might experience some kind of deficit or crash, but I really doubt Texas. If we are still at a deficit now in housing, I can't imagine us crashing at all. Not at least for the remainder of 2022. I don't know about next year.
unless if there's some catastrophic event that happened, but aside from that, no, I don't think so.
Unless there's a major earthquake or a
I
meteor
hope
crashes,
not.
volcano.
I
So
don't
about
think
the
we're going to see the same amount of, influx of appreciation that we've seen in the last 2 years. But I do still think that we're going to see at least about a 13% appreciation in values that we've seen,
Yes.
you know, as far as our properties goes. But uh, even with a recession or a pending recession, or, I just don't see the market crashing here,
Yes,
or
I agree with
as
you.
much as
It's not
everybody
gonna
else
happen.
thinks.
It's
Yes.
not
Um,
gonna happen.
yeah.
Arlen is reading something, so share it with us.
Okay, so based on I told you I do my research, right? So
We saw that.
still, they said the home sales slow shifting our original 2022 growth expectation to decline 6.7%. That's it. We're
Okay.
not
Only.
telling, more than that. So
Yeah.
that is the expectation. That's the decline based on the study of the market.
Is
6.7%. Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean
is that
that
for Texas,
Yes.
Ariane?
yeah,
Protect.
we had like in some areas we had like over 20%
Yes.
increase.
Yes.
So I think stabilizing
Stabilizing.
is the
Yeah.
right word. I think.
Yeah.
Moderating the housing market,
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
right?
I like
It's
that word, moderating. Yeah,
yes.
thanks.
Moderating.
I like that.
So
Uh-huh.
with the renters out there, whether they're renting an apartment or a house, well, what do you tell them, or
It's
what can you advise to these renters?
Who you wanna ask? Who you wanna answer the question? We're all ready.
Yeah, whoever.
you
We'll
know,
start.
let me start, Mario. Maybe
Okay.
you will all agree with me. I encourage my clients, instead of renting, if they do have the resources, really,
Uh-huh.
okay, to go and invest in a house
Yeah.
because of oh my god, not maybe all these renters will be mad at us, but all these people, people renting, I keep telling them, where is your rent going? At the end of the day, you're not investing in anything. Okay, but sometimes they tell me, well, I don't have the money. So then of course I will not argue with them when it comes to that, because I
Uh-huh.
know when they're confident about their money, their resources, then they'll be able to dive into investing. But I show them the difference, really, and tell them in the long run how it will be beneficial, of course, to own a house. It's an investment, it's
Uh-huh.
something that they can get significant returns later instead of just simply renting.
Mhm.
Yes.
Although I might become a landlord soon.
How
Yes.
That's
about
the
you, Arlen?
reality of it.
Oh, this is my favorite one. If you can pay your rent, you can pay your own mortgage,
There you go. Yeah.
right? Super simple. And of course, I can really discuss it to them on the 1 to 3 years renting, you winning, right? Because in the first year when you're buying houses, you need to pay down payment, you need to pay taxes, closing costs. The If you are thinking for below 3 years, you need to, about renting, you need to rent, right? But if you're thinking for a long run, long terms, you need to thinking about the accumulation of equity, mortgage, and you are paying the same mortgage for 30 years, right? If you're renting every year, your rent will be increasing, right?
Yes. Yes.
And I have a story about this one. So I have a client, they're renting for 5 years. And I told them I help them to buy. I don't have a money. He said, okay, you have a job. I know you don't have money. You told me you don't have money, but let's figure it out. Okay. We can figure it out. If you want it, there's a way, right? So we figure it out, we wait for the stimulus money for their closing costs. So it's really something money that will come to you if you really really need want something, right?
I believe
So
that.
I extend the closing. We wait for the stimulus money to pay for the closing. I negotiate a lot. So guys, I'm crazy for negotiation. I negotiate the closing costs. I find the USDA, so they don't have the down payment. So it's a lot of loan that is available for you if you're really persistent to buy a house. Okay, we have the USDA, which is zero down payment. We have the VA. We have different type of loan. If you contact Maureen, they
Yeah.
they can really personalize. It depends what you are finances at the moment. And so this couple buy a house at the middle of the COVID. So I am the one doing everything, videos. And last 2 months ago, they want to sell their house. I almost cry because I work hard for them to buy a house. And I explain it to them. So they have a 4 bedroom. And I'm super happy now. They said they want to sell it. They want to cash out the equity. Okay, this is, guys, if you're watching right now, this is how you make money. Okay, so they said after 2 years, I told, do not sell your house within 2 years. You're gonna be taxes. Make sure you are 2 years, so you will not taxes for whatever you make money in your house. So they wait after 1 month that they're 2 years. They put their house in the market. Not me. I'm not the listing agent because
Oh.
they know I'm gonna be mad at them because why you gonna sell your property? I used to work hard for you guys. So it
Because you
is.
worked hard for it.
I work hard for it. They know it. And then
Mm.
they told me, hey,
Oh.
ate, this is what we're doing. We really need to sell a house because we have a lot of debt that we need to pay. Understandable, okay? So this is what you guys, if you're learning, watching right now, still renting, this is how you really, why you really want to buy a house. So after 2 years, they bought the house for 220,000. This is in Princeton. Now they sell the house for 370,000. By just
Wow.
living there, by just they did not do the maintenance
Oh
because I
dear.
told them to I think they buy a new AC, but this is, see how much money they make it by just living there, right? You're
Mhm.
paying your mortgage. They paying less mortgage because it's 2.5% in their mortgage rate on that time. So they're paying really less money, and now they can pull out almost 150,000 by just like 2 years ago. So if you guys really thinking, do I really need to buy a house right now? Yes. In
Yes.
less than in 2 years, you call me.
Mhm.
I want to sell your house, and I will ask how much your money you make by just on the equity. So
Remember, house values appreciate.
yes,
Okay,
Yes,
unless
yes.
there is a catastrophe
Yeah.
that will cost like 2007. That was one example, but otherwise, it is the best investment you can make.
yes,
So I'm
Yes.
going to direct the question to Maureen. So for people who are on the fence or on the or still still waiting or tenants or whatever, what do they have? I mean, usually, what do they usually have to do to be able to buy a house to prepare themselves, and
Mm.
also what are the types of especially first time home buying programs out there that's available?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as Arlene was saying, I'm the same way. Money, you do have to have savings. You do have to have down, your down payment, your um, closing costs, and all of that. but don't make money the issue of
Yes.
why you don't buy the house. Because there are options. There are ways for you to get your closing costs.
Mm-hmm.
There are ways out there for you to get your down payment. Um, Texas is one of the states that have many down payment assistance programs. We have TSHAC, we have TDHCA. Now, I will say, for the last couple of since we've had these influx of not real estate interest rate changes, that it is only for what's available, and we always have to check on a daily basis. But they are available, and there are programs like if you are a veteran,
Yes.
you can use your VA eligibility. If you are buying in the outskirts of the city limits, you can do a USDA loan. It's zero down, right?
Yes.
There are stipulations for each program. Of course, you do have to qualify within those stipulations, but if you qualify for them, there are ways you can get into a home with a zero down payment and only have to get your closing costs. Now,
Yes.
closing costs, I'm just like Arlene. I am a negotiator. And I will call the realtor and say, hey, Arlene, we're a little short. What can we do? And if it's time, like, hey, can we push this a little back because I got a paycheck that's coming in that I need them to get? Can we, work on time a little bit? Kahit konti lang.
Yes.
Right? So let's just, it's a matter of talking to your professional team, right?
Yes.
Talk to your realtors, talk to your lender.
Uh-huh.
Let's make it all work for you. So don't ever make money the issue of why you can't close, or why you can't buy, right? Because if that is the issue, let us help you, because we'll find a way. And if it's a matter of just, I have this much money. What we do is we do a pre-approval, right? And we'll tell you, okay, you want to buy $200,000 house. This is how much it is for a down payment. This is the type of loan you're going to get and what you can qualify for. And this is how much money that you need. This is how much money that you have. This is how much money that you'll still need. How much is it going to take for you to get it, right? And if you say to me, I need about 2 months to get it, I said, okay, how about you work on this much and I will look for a down payment assistance program to help you get the rest of it. So it's not I'm going to have to sit there and take months on end to get this money. Or I have literally turned a borrower looking at $20,000 to get into a $200,000 house. And by the time I crunch the numbers, they're getting into this house for as little as like probably $5,000.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
$5,000 a whole lot. I closed the borrower today, and her house is $300,000. By the time we did everything, the interest rate was at 5.25. Her cash to close was only $6,000,
Wow.
and that's
Yeah.
that was it. Like literally, we just had to play the numbers, and we had to make sure that everything worked for her, right?
Okay.
And it's just a matter of making sure that whatever works for that borrower in their situation, and we do right by the borrower. We have to find a way to make it work.
I think, Maureen,
I don't even. I don't
think we need to. I think I need to talk to you after our show because
Yeah.
I think we need to talk.
Oh, Carlos, you haven't met Maureen.
No.
You haven't met Maureen, Carlos?
No,
Oh, okay, okay.
but I read
Maureen,
up
I'm
your.
going to ask you the 6,000 out of pocket. Is that a zero down payment? Is that
No, it was an
uh,
FHA loan.
Yeah.
FHA?
Yeah, it was an FHA.
Wow.
I got $2,000. Their money they're gonna put in the closing. They have the house for 4 bedroom that will be closing next week. They have
Awesome, awesome.
$2,000. I negotiate everything. And it's like, really, guys? You need to use us to be, you have a house. Make sure if you sell it, you call me, okay?
Yeah, you have to
Hey,
find
I think I better call I better call my client who went dormant, okay, because she's been on the fence since last year. I think I
How
better
oh
you,
call.
you
no.
need to you need to tell that to sit
I,
down with
I
me
know. I think I'm going to call
yeah,
Maureen about
on
this.
Maureen.
you have to find ways to, as long as the client is willing,
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
you have to have a client that's willing to do the work and do
Mhm.
what it takes, because if it's just you as the lender and you as the realtor and the client's not willing, then
Yes.
you don't have a loan, you don't have a deal, right? But if the
Right.
client is willing to say, hey, I'm going to put forth the effort, or hey, I'm
Mhm.
willing to tell you what I've got, I'm willing to tell you what I'm going to do, and they're willing to do it,
Hmm.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm all
Oh,
in, and
definitely.
I'm on the go, and I'm going to make sure that that client closes,
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
like I said before, I love what I do. I I I
That's
have
good.
like goosebumps when my clients close. I do.
Hey,
Me
I just
too.
love what I do.
hey guys, let's wrap it up. So conclusion. Good time or bad time, Arlen?
Good time to buy a house right now. First, you have a lot of a list to shop around, and the sellers right now. This is for buyers, okay? So right now is the best time to buy a house. If you buy yesterday, that's more better, but today is the best time. Why? The appreciation value of your property is really, it's your savings, right? You have to be in the proper, like, for me is what you really want, right? Are you really really what you want, you and your family? You look for the longer term, right? If you want to buy a house, you see yourself living here, or you see yourself living 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, you still alive, buy a house. Okay. If you see you, we don't know, right? So for you to enjoy the space, right? Enjoy the community, right? And of course, the equity value in your paying the same payment, and nobody tell you, hey, you need to get out after the end of the year because I'm gonna use this property. It's your house, right? And it's American dream to have all this. And me being, in this country for less than a decade, and I can help a lot of people to attain their home ownership, the dream of home ownership. I'm just like, oh my, it's really, my heart is really super super grateful, because and that's why I'm teaching, right? If you see all my videos, and I'm teaching a lot, hey, this is how you do it, and this is how to buy a house. It's not freaking hard. It's super easy. If you put your right mindset to buy a house, right now is the best time to buy, and your family will benefits. And if you want to sell the house, okay, if you are really want to sell the house, example, we have some people that they do the forbearance. Okay, you want to sell your house, you can sell your house right now. Still a lot of people are buying, market is growing, market is moving if you price it right, not the price 3 months ago, 6 months ago. Okay, do not expect that you have that one, that kind of price. Be realistic at the moment, right? And make sure that you are ready to sell the house. You have the place right now. Your dream home is just there. If you want to downsize or if you want to upsize, right now is the best time for you to get all the benefits, because we have like contingency now is accepting, like, hey, I want to put this one contingency to buy the 1.1 million dollar house, contingency is selling the 700,000 house. The offer is accepted. So right now is also the same time. If you want to buy or sell a house, talk to the right people in front of us right now, and we can help you.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so Maureen, good time or bad time?
I think it's the best time to buy a house or sell a house. I mean, you couldn't find a better situation for both a seller and a buyer. Literally, a buyer right now can actually, whether you're a first time or a second time home buyer, you can now be competitive, right?
Yes.
You can be competitive with a builder. You can be
Mm-hmm.
competitive with a seller and actually, like Arlene said, have a contingency. You can
Yes.
actually ask for things like a title policy, possibly. um,
Yeah.
and
Possible, right?
yeah, and be a little bit more creative in your offer. And with a seller, in this market, you're still getting top dollar, to be quite honest. You're
Yes.
not getting,
Yes.
you may not be getting what you got last year or you possibly could have got 2 years ago, but you're still getting top dollar, to
Yes.
be quite honest. And so, yeah, I still think in today's market is a good time to buy or sell.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Marlene. Carlos, good time
Yes,
or bad
sir.
time?
It is always a good time. It is always the best time to buy a house. Okay, I always tell my prospective clients, a house is a great investment. Okay, it appreciates. Okay, it's way better than buying a fancy car. Okay, but I always tell my clients if they're thinking of buying a house, to strongly consider a house that will be within their means. Okay, of course,
Uh-huh.
there is that American dream to own a 3,000 square foot home with 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. But I always have to tell them, take a look. You might be house rich, but you will be uh, cash poor. Okay, so I always tell them, you will get there. Okay, if you really want a nice big house, but you take baby steps. So if you're thinking of investing in a house, see what you can really afford for now, what your jobs can afford you to pay, that you will still eat, be able to have a good time, okay, still be able to pay for that car. And that's what I say. And everything that Arlen and Maureen said, I totally agree. Now, if you're thinking of selling a house, well, you heard it from Maureen, okay? You can still get top dollar for it. I definitely agree with that kind of with that conclusion, that we're not in a national crisis, believe me, okay? This thing that's going on now, the topsy turvy of the situation, this is all temporary. I guarantee you it will all stabilize. Okay, we will go back to normal, whatever that normal will be. Okay, and we will all thrive. Okay, and housing is in Texas, is especially in the metroplex and in the big cities, Houston, Austin, San Antonio. It's a little bit tight, DFW area, but we are sure, okay, that you will be able to find that house that you really want. There you go. With our help, okay, the four of us, okay, here, we will help you. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Hey,
Thank you.
to all of our Facebook friends, whoever's watching, we have our names and emails and phone numbers. So if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out. Okay. So
There's
signing
any
off.
question that we can answer based on your viewer?
Yeah, is
Uh,
there a forum? Meron bang ano? Are there typed in questions?
well, let me see.
Maybe Maureen can answer us.
Yeah. I'm sure our kababayans and everybody thinking of buying
Yeah.
ours are very curious about how they can get the funding, and Maureen will be the best person to answer all
Yes.
these questions for us. Because even when my clients ask me about money matters, I always tell them, you better discuss this with the mortgage lender, because I'm
Yeah.
not a mortgage lender.
So I have a question to Maureen. This is
Yeah.
for all of us, all the viewers right now, especially in the fence. And what is the really? I can, I know the answer, but I want in the mortgage side, you need
Mhm.
to elaborate to them what is the basic, really basic qualification to buy a house if there are, a first time home buyer that's
Wow.
super scared to buy a house right now, so based on your, expertise to share it to them.
Good
Okay,
question,
yeah,
Arlene. Thank
good
you.
question.
Yes.
So 2 years of employment, okay. Really need to make sure, first off, is really have 2 years of employment history. When you fill out that application, that's going to be really the most important thing, is that when you fill it out, make sure you put 2 full years. And when I say 2 full years, if you stay with one job and you've been there for 2 years, that's great, right? But if you've had multiple employment history, then make sure you put the full 2 years of whatever job you worked at. Because if there are any gaps, we have to be able to explain it, right? So I know when we had COVID this past 2 years, that has been a very, trying times for some people because there's been some layoffs. There's been some people that's been off work because they've had COVID. If it's been more than 6 months, you do have to explain the 6 months, and then you have to be back at work for 6 months. So the job employment is going to be the main key. The other thing is residency and also your banking information. 2 months of bank statements, your 2 years of residency of where you've lived, and most people might ask for your tax returns. I don't really ask for tax returns unless I really need them and if I'm using it for a particular type of program. I just ask for W-2s.
Okay.
What about credit score, Maureen?
Credit scores is if depending on the type of program that we're doing, we are 620. Most down payment assistance programs require 620. Some do require 640, really depending on the type of program. But minimum 620. You can do an FHA as low as 580, but you are going to be using your own funds. You can do a VA loan as low as 600. VA, I will say, is very particular of what's on your credit, not necessarily your credit score. So if you have anything that is like, if you had any charge-offs, if you have any delinquent accounts, as far as like collections and things like that, those things VA is very particular about.
Maureen, I have a question. For the VA loans, is it true that applicants now can use their VA benefits for multiple house purchases?
VA is really particularly just for primary residence.
Primary.
Okay.
Primary.
Maureen, last question. How about 1099s, independent contractors?
We do have a program for those. Now, for our program, I mean, when you say 1099s and contractors, is there a particular situation that you're wanting to know about?
How do they qualify, or what are the qualifications?
So traditionally 1099s, they do have to be in their 2 years, right? They do have to file their taxes, but we do have a particular program for our 1099. I believe I sent you a copy of that through IM too. I don't know if you remember. So it's they do have to have a 660 credit score. We don't require a tax return for that, but they do have to have, funds, of course. It is actually that program is actually in-house as well, but we do average out for the contractor. It's great for somebody that maybe like nurses, traveling nurses. So if you have somebody that does that, I know a lot of our Filipino communities are in the nursing industry. I have a lot of them in my family. So if you are a traveling nurse and you get your income where it's different multiple hospitals, or you're contracted out that way, that is we do have a program particularly for that. And that's basically towards a contractor. But you do have to have some kind of history more than just something that you just started out. So particularly like maybe 2 years. Even if you have been a nurse, at least 1 year would be good.
Okay. Got it. So I guess we can talk about that different loan programs in detail maybe next time.
Yes.
But well, thank you so much. I didn't see any questions here aside from the questions earlier. So hey, thank you for coming and sharing and giving value to the community. That's the most important thing, I think.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you so
We'll have
much.
another round,
You
Mario.
guys.
Wow, what's that, Carlos?
We'll have another round.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we
yeah,
really
and don't be
do.
late.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, I
I'm
love
so
that.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
We're just kidding. Okay, good night.
Good
Thank you,
Good
night.
Bye.
Thank you.
everyone.
Nice
night.
meeting you
Have
all.
nice meeting
Bye.
you, Maureen.
Oh, you too. I'm gonna tag you guys on Facebook.
Yes,
Okay.
Awesome,
please.
awesome,
Thank
Thank
you,
awesome.
Mario,
you.
for doing this.
Mario, thank you for doing
Thank
this.
you.
Bye, Arlen.
Bye, Carlos.
Bye.
Bye.